Good morning. Happy Tuesday. You know, I was sitting on the couch last night, had TV going, minding my own business. I like to color sometimes, so I had my adult coloring book. It's an adult coloring book, okay? I had it with my fancy felt pens. Yep. Coloring away, and all of a sudden it was like 10, 15, and I was like, you've done nothing to get ready for work tomorrow, because today's an office day. Yeah. And you've done nothing but sit here and color. So I had to get up and get busy and get my bath and do all the things so that I could go to work today. I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice morning, short sleeves. I think it's 57-ish, but it's gonna be back up almost to 80, I think. 78, I don't know, something like that. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be a nice day. That's all I know. That's all I care about. It's a nice day. That's not all I care about. Okay, I might be hyper this morning, but I'm pretty sure y'all are used to that. So, yeah, anyway. So I was listening to something this morning. You know, I listen to stories, and usually there's a word in that story that triggers something, right? Triggers my own story. Although yesterday, I struggled to make a video because I was like, I got nothing. Hi, can we please keep walking? I got nothing to talk about. But pollen jumped in and saved the day. For once in my life, pollen saved the day. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what she's looking at. You know, I hate when they just start staring off into the distance like they see. And he's doing the same thing. Maybe it's that black ball over there. There's a black ball in, I don't know. They have barked at Stranger Things like, no, we're not going that way. We got to go this way. Come on. Stay the path, babies. Anyway, so key word for today, gas. Yeah, gas, not belly gas. Petrol. Gasoline, yes. So my mother, let me tell you about my mother. She was one of the funniest. Speaking of my mother, there's a cardinal, a female cardinal. You know, they say cardinals are visitors from heaven. My mother was one of the funniest women ever. And anybody will tell you that went to her funeral, that her funeral was the funniest funeral they had ever been to. And we wanted it that way because she was Lucille Ball, okay? I don't know what that made me in the duo when we were trying to do stuff together, because I also felt like Lucille. If there can be two Lucilles, I mean, maybe I was Ethel, but I always considered myself quite a Lucille as well. But anyway, funny woman. She was also a beautiful woman, okay? I mean, man, when she was young, one of my neighbors, come on, was a teenage boy when my mom was probably, let's see, my mom, I'm trying to think, because he's the age of my sister, 17, so my mom would have been about 34, because she had my sister at 17, so 34 years old. She would go to Brown's grocery store to pick up a few groceries. Hold on just a second. Anyway, he said when Mom came in that all the young men would fight to bag her groceries and take them to the car for her. It would be summer and she would be wearing her shorts and, you know, looking all cute. But anyway, he said they always fought to take her to her car. And they said there was a woman that would often come in with her who also was beautiful. And I believe that was my very first bestie, Kim's mother, Margaret, because they often hung out together when they were young. Anyway, so knowing all that leads to this story. So my mom was also one of those people. Get away from the bee. Charlie's allergic to bees, and he'll walk, I mean, not that he knows that, but he'll walk right up to them and smell of them. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get stung again. I had to take him to the emergency vet because he was stung. Okay, focus, Tracy. So, anyway, she would let the gas almost run out of the car, right? I mean, she would be rolling in to the gas station on fumes, and she'd get like $5 worth. Now, back in the day, $5 worth was a lot, but she wouldn't really fill up. You know, she never wanted to fill up her car. Well, this one day, she was out in front of the old library in town, and right next to the library, there was a gas station. So she gets out, and of course they had gas station attendants then, and the attendant comes running over and says, "What seems to be the problem?" And, "Come on over here, Pen, come on." And she says, "Well, I believe I just ran out of gas." She said, "Can you just get me a quarter's worth?" Which she said was a gallon. And he said, "Oh, yes, ma'am." So he runs over there and gets the, you know, the little tank thing, the container. What do you call those things? I don't know. And he puts 25 cents worth in it and comes over and puts it in the car. This was a Volkswagen, if I remember correctly. And she said she thinks that he thought she was about to pull into the gas station and, you know, put more gas in the car. She said, "I handed him a quarter and said, 'Thanks,' and drove off." And she said, "He just stood there watching me as I drove off like, 'I can't believe you're not putting more gas in your car.'" She said, "I knew I knew a gallon would get me home." I'm not that bad with my gas. I may let it get low, but I don't let it get that low. I'll be back. Hi, it's the whole end of the day now. I've been home and I've walked the dogs, and now I'm gonna drive to the store. Did I get the bags before I walked out? No. All through the house I was like, "Pick up the bags on your way out. Pick up the bags on your way out." Did I? No, but that's okay, because I have 5,000 more in the back that I'll just use those. Yeah. Uh-oh. Anyway, yeah, so finished my mom's story this morning about the gas. I just thought it was funny how it didn't matter to her, you know, if she had a gallon, she knew that that could get her about 30 miles, which got her home. And I'm sure when she got home, she probably drove it a few more times before she got gas. And, you know, oddly enough, she never ran out of gas. She didn't run out of gas. She was like, "Well, I still have gas." Which I'm kind of that way too, but anyway. Pollen count today. We're not going to discuss the weather now. Now we're going to discuss the pollen count, because that's very exciting. Pollen count yesterday was like 1,600 something. 1607 or something. I don't know. It don't matter. But today it's 3,900. And that means 39 particles per cubic meter. However big a cubic meter is, there's 3,900 particles in that cubic meter that are pollens, little tiny baby pollens flying around. Typically, this is what my allergist told me. My allergist that I went to for years to get shots, he told me that you typically are not allergic to the yellow pine pollen. It's usually the unseen pollen that you're allergic to. So that's good to know. I'm not saying nobody's allergic to it, but he just said it's not one of the big allergy producers. It will produce a haze that when you drive through it, it'll blow up like a big yellow wall of dirt, sand, dust. Yeah, except it's yellow pollen. Man, the sunset's beautiful. Hold on. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Oh. Anyway, back to the pollen. I know we're not going to start discussing pollen all the time, but I have to tell y'all about Miss Penny. Miss Penny, every day, I've posted videos of her doing this, where she rubs her face along the driveway, along the road, along all the things. Yeah, except this morning and during this pollen season, she comes in with her entire face, both nostril holes, eyeballs, everything is just yellow with pollen. And she'll do this just about every day through pollen season. It'll rain and it'll wash all that pollen off my driveway, but it'll be back within about 15 minutes. So yeah, so I come in and have to wash her face off because it's yellow with pollen. Yeah, when we walked again this afternoon, same thing, covered with pollen. So that's my life. And then I think she inhaled so much of it that it made her a little bit nauseous because she, she expelled liquid from her mouth hole. So, from pollen. I feel sure it's from pollen. But anyway, I'm going in Petco and I'll be back. Okay? Okay. And for our last bit of news, a man in Clayton County, Georgia, another Georgia story, so proud, he called the police. He called 911 because he paid a prostitute $40 and she said she would do everything. And then she took off running with his money and didn't do anything. Charlie just tooted. Did y'all hear that? And so he called the police, and the police came out there, of course, to protect and serve, and was like, what's going on? He was like, well, I paid her $40 for sex, and she took off running with my money. Well, where is she? Well, she's over there in that hotel room. So they go over there, and so the caller gets arrested for pandering, because in case you don't know, it is against the law to hire someone for sex. She got arrested for prostitution, and the man she was with in the room also got arrested because he was wanted on other warrants. So all three of them went to jail. I bet they were mad at him, but I also bet that she wishes that she hadn't run with his money. But $40? $40? Ugh. $40? Okay, that's the last time I'm going to say that, but I'm not going to say it again. That don't seem like enough money just to, with somebody I don't know like that. No. They ain't enough of money. That's what I'm saying. There's not enough money, but $40? Oh, I said it again. Anyway, the things that people do, the things they do. They call the police on themselves. I read a story one time where a guy called the police because he tried to buy some drugs and the person didn't deliver his drugs or whatever. Dude, you can't do that. We used to have strange people call in to us, but nothing quite like that. Not to the sheriff's office. Now, 911, they get all the good calls. But to the sheriff's office, we just had people who would be like, hey, can you send someone out to talk to my son because he won't clean his room and he won't do anything I ask. How old is he? 10. Let me tell you something. Shirley Nelson never had to call the police on any of her 4 children, ever. But at 10 years old, to get us to clean our rooms. No. There was no police called. Not even my dad, who was a police, was called. Because Shirley was the police in the house. Yes, she was. She was the police. And she said, do it. And that one eyebrow shot up, and you did it. Yes, you did. Because you wanted that eyebrow to go back down. Because that's not a good look, let me tell you. But yeah, they would call and ask us to come out and talk to their son because their son would not clean his room or do anything else they asked at 10 years old. And then, I'll leave you with this one. I had a call from this, well, it wasn't me, it was Mitzi actually. She had a call from this lady who wanted to know the square footage of her home. And Mitzi said, ma'am, this is the sheriff's office. And she said, I know who I'm calling. And she said, I need to know the square footage of my home. And Mitzi was like, but ma'am, this is the sheriff's office warrant division. She said, I know who I'm calling. I just need the square footage of my home. And Mitzi said, oh, I'm sorry, 12. Square footage is 12. She said, thank you. Was that so hard? Mitzi was like, nope, and hung up the phone. So we made up a rule then that the answer is always 12. Yep, if you don't know, it's 12. So I don't know why that lady needed the square footage of her home, but I guarantee you it was probably more than 12. But it made her happy, so, you know, hey, that's what we do. Protect and serve and make people happy. So, anyway, I hope y'all have had a great day, a great pollenless day. And I did include a couple of pictures of Penny with all the pollen. Penny and the pollen. I like saying those words, Penny and the pollen. I have been on the phone for like an hour and a half already. And I'm kind of tired of talking. So, yeah, I'll let you go for now. Oh, I meant to tell y'all, I ordered some stuff from Temu. Have y'all heard of that? Temu? It's like a new, it's probably like the new Wish, but everybody says they've been liking most of what they've been getting. So I ordered some stuff to put the resin in, some dried flowers and some little like silicone molds. So, hey, we'll see how it goes when it gets here. I'll do an official unboxing when it gets here, and I'll show y'all what I got. I think it takes a couple of weeks. It's different than Wish in that it doesn't take like 6 weeks to get here. That's what I hate about ordering from China, because by the time it actually arrives, we're in a different season, and I'm over it. But I think this only takes a couple of weeks. So, anyway, stay tuned, because I'll be unboxing my Temu order. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, I love you and Jesus loves you. And I hope he's coming back soon. Okay, toodles, manoodles. Goodbye.